What's a sign that someone is way smarter than they let on? I think people who meet you on your wavelength are smarter than most. They can talk about pretty much anything, with anyone. They'll shoot the shit with some people, discuss politics with others, listen as well as talk, ask questions, but also will take time to explain things if they're asked. I cannot for the life of me remember who it was about, but there's some quote about an extremely intelligent colleague who was so good at speaking to children on their level that the speaker wondered if this colleague was perhaps using that same skill on adults. Admitting they're wrong. Reconsidering positions based on new evidence. Curiosity. Curiosity is a big one. This is the thing I don't understand. I have that curiosity and a drive to understand things deeply. I'm smart, according to tests, but I don't feel smart because I'm not very successful in life. Yet I'm constantly coming across people who are incurious, and I find it baffling. I can't fathom going through life that way. I don't mean that in a superior way, I just don't get it. People who ask perceptive questions, which show a deep and considered comprehension of what's being said and meant, and how this interacts with the wider picture. Next-door neighbor's 4-year-old son would ask me what I was doing, then ask why. I'd explain what I was doing and he'd continue to ask why. I'd continue to answer until he got the reason into his head. Next-door neighbor apologized, but I told him that his son is showing intelligence by getting to the root cause of his curiosity. I think a light clicked in my neighbor's head as I realized his loud hollering from their house has quieted down quite a bit. This comment made me sad. I don't have the patience, energy, or money to have kids, but these interactions where it feels like you're literally watching a child's brain grow seem like the main reason to have kids. Why are people even having kids if they don't want to meaningfully engage with them? I need to call my parents and tell them how much I love them. I think lots of parents do feel that way, but raising a kid is exhausting. An exhausted mind struggles to keep the bigger picture in mind. After I complimented a very smart and successful farmer on his operation, he replied, "All it takes to be a farmer is a strong back and a weak mind. A trained monkey could do my job," said by the sharpest guy I ever worked with, as he was converting my measured values to hexadecimal in his head as he input adjusted CNC parameters. Very quick wit. You have to be smart to process and deliver. Humor is the highest form of language. Robin Williams was a great comedian, and he was also brilliant. Truth. You have to have a strong understanding of language before you can successfully play with it. Someone who can explain a very complex topic to a room full of laypeople is usually pretty good at what they do. My husband's childhood friend is working on his PhD in physics. I am not math-brained at all, but the way he describes math concepts in a way that is understandable, while not being condescending, is incredible. He is of the opinion that anyone can learn advanced math as long as the teacher is motivated to teach. He was a tutor for some time, and I'm sure students probably fought over him for help. The fact that they're not letting on how smart they are. It's better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. Good comedy. There are so many great comedians who play dumb and make jokes about how stupid they are, but I think you have to be quite above average intelligence in order to be a really great comedian. I think intelligent people see the absurdity of situations and can articulate it well for others. Studies show humor is a sign of intelligence. It's actually interesting to see how many different views on intelligent people seem to have. If we talk about logic smart, then a subtle sign is worrying about obscure edge cases too much. Emotional smart, bringing up stuff that reassures other people before they bring it up. Yeah, I think I've read like 80% of the comments now. Some say school smart, a taciturn person, big words. It's crazy how people conceive the single word intelligence in so many different ways. I subscribe to the idea that there's multiple types of intelligence. I have a mate who didn't finish year 12, but he can fix anything, build anything, engines just run better if he's around them. Total mastery of the physical world. You'll never, ever convince me that he's not brilliant, even though he hasn't read a book since he was 12. My conclusion is that there must be different types of intelligence. He has one, not others. Other people are better with books but worse with the physical world. They tend to be interested in many different topics. They are naturally curious about many different things. I'm a retired florist. I'm into muscle cars and classical piano. Fucks the hell out of the algorithm. Actually taking a moment to contemplate an argument they disagree with rather than just reflectively dismissing it. Smart people are willing to have their assumptions challenged and reevaluate them. This may be true in terms of social intelligence, but some of the most academically gifted students I had as a teacher and classmates I have in medical school have been some of the most "I am right, don't challenge me on it" type of people. One little thing I've noticed is intelligent people tend to laugh at jokes faster than the average person, because they got it right away rather than having to process it and figure out why it's funny, or laughing just because everyone else laughed. I feel like a lot of people confuse charisma with intelligence. Taciturnity. Many quite smart people that I know are 90% taciturn. They don't want to share their thoughts in front of many people, but when you talk to them one-on-one, they share facts, knowledge and thoughts, and you instantly think, "Wow, guy, I didn't expect from you that." Yes, in many ways they are just introverts. If they begin their answer to most questions with something like, "I don't really know. I don't have all the details. I'm sure someone more knowledgeable can enlighten you on this," and then continue to give you a logical response, usually beginning with a phrase like, "in my opinion," or "I would assume," so it doesn't sound like they're just talking out their rear. People who are confident in admitting they don't know something, often by saying they don't know or "I don't know," when asked a direct question. People who can clearly define the boundaries of their own intelligence, are humble and learn by making mistakes, and usually, not all the time, are more intelligent than those who lie, mask, use excuses, or become defensive about what they perceive as a mental deficiency. Anyone that can sit down and listen and doesn't try to constantly lead the conversation. Smart people are always looking to learn and understand, not to teach and be understood. They say what you wanted to say, but much simpler and direct, without really using complicated words. Tina Fey said that you could tell which people in a crowd were smart by what they laughed at. I've found that to be true. They're kinder. Kindness is just smart. They're good problem solvers and are always asking questions. 1. They care equally about tiny details just as much as the big picture. 2. They are patient. 3. They are not shy about asking for help or asking good questions. 4. They are very good at rephrasing concepts in their own words. People who realize they don't know everything, and intelligence comes in many forms. You are more likely to listen to people who are well informed in different fields if you don't already think you have all the answers. This is how you learn. I think too many think being smart is something you're born with, like you just have a quick brain, but it's more about humble curiosity, in my opinion. Rather than getting frustrated when they don't know something, they get excited. I had a chemistry professor in college that was insanely smart, and when somebody asked a question she couldn't answer, her eyes lit up as she said, "I don't know. Let's find out." To her, not knowing something was just an opportunity to learn something new. They don't feel the need to contradict everyone's comments and prove themselves. Have you ever talked to a PhD? 'Cause this isn't true at all. Academics love to correct people and debate. Good memory and a great learning capacity. Persistence is a great sign of intelligence. Intelligence comes in many forms, so I would ignore all the comments suggesting that intelligent people keep their mouths shut, etc. Dunning-Kruger demonstrates that the smarter you are, the more likely you are to express doubts about your own beliefs, your own knowledge, and your own intelligence. You are also more likely to overestimate the intelligence of other people. They also show that the dumber you are, the more likely you are to show confidence in your own beliefs, knowledge, and intelligence. You are also more likely to underestimate the intelligence of other people. In other words, the person saying, "You're all stupid, I'm the smart one here," is more likely to be less intelligent than the one saying, "We're all intelligent people here. I might be wrong. What do you think?" In general, overconfidence is valued more than intelligence. That suggests that, in general, people prefer dumb shits. But I could be wrong. Honestly, one of the most immediate signs of intelligence is controlling emotions, if you're looking for a more scientific answer. It's not to say emotionally unstable people can't be smart. There are lots of reasons people can be overly emotional. Hormones are a great example. But statistically, if someone is unable to control their anger or fear, more often means their prefrontal cortex is less well developed. which is also often the case for younger people just because it doesn't develop as quickly as the part of your brain that actually houses emotion. So someone who can keep their emotions in check and be less reactionary in their responses, meaning they can pause, let the emotion fade, and then respond, often has a more developed logic process in their brain. They don't take the bait when someone tries to engage in gossip with them. They let you lie and never call you out on it. People tell you way more with a lie than the one thing they tell you with a true statement. Just let them do it. Let them show you who they are, and either keep them around or move on. What's a sign that someone is way smarter than they let on? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.